Alright, so we have been through all our junk, we have cleared out this room, we're going to spare you from seeing that nonsense. So now we are going to have Dylan's parents come down and help us out for a few days, kind of get us kickstarted on the project. So next step seems like demolition.
Yep, so my father will probably be super handy to have another pair of hands around. We're just going to start tearing stuff out. We'll start with the doorway. I'm really anxious to get that out just because I know carrying some of these bigger pieces probably will be easier once we open that up. So we're going to tear out the doorway like I talked about before, and then we'll probably try to frame that in if we get there, or start tearing out some of the walls up here that you see over there. Yeah, I didn't enjoy realizing how much, as she called it, junk we have. So yeah, it was good to purge. Yeah, very, very excited to get rid of all that stuff and start fresh.
So this doorway turned out to be just about as much of a headache as I kind of dreaded it would be. I lost a lot of sleep thinking about it, and I still am losing a lot of sleep thinking about it. So, and most that's to do with I'm just another idiot trying to make his life better and not perfect. So, the problem is this, like what I thought would be like framing for this opening, or like at least some sort of tied-in floor joist type of thing. I don't know what I'm doing. I thought it would be connected somehow, but it seems like it's more just sitting on top of this wall. So my plan originally was to take this wall out completely here, and just have the ceiling. But because this is just sitting here on top of the wall, I had to leave the wall. And the more I think about it, the more I realize this probably needs like a proper 2x6 header, two 2x6 headers for like a proper doorway. Because this is sitting on top of the wall. There really shouldn't be much weight here on the wall, because any weight above it, like the wall I'm putting on above it, should be distributed among the floor. This wall here behind me is actually a load-bearing wall for the floor. So it really shouldn't have too much weight on it. I guess we'll find out what the inspector has to say about it when he shows up eventually. But so yeah, good news is I guess the transition that we wanted is here, and we can easily get a queen-size mattress up the stairs now, which we couldn't previously. So this is a huge gain in real estate as far as head height. To be code, I think it's 6 foot, 6.5 feet, or something like that. So that easily meets that criteria now. And as you can see, look, I have room. Lots of room. So yeah, it's very exciting. Like I said, I'm gonna just try to forget about it, and move on, because you know, there's no better way to learn than failure. So I guess we'll see if I failed or not when the inspector comes. So as you can see up here, we also managed to accomplish most of the demolition up here. The wall that was here is gone now, and the wood is processed. The knee walls or pony walls, I don't know what they're called, around the stairway is gone now. Again, lumber is processed. Thankfully the OSB was pretty much all screwed on for the walls, so that was easy to take off. The ceiling, however, was stapled on, which actually pretty easy to get off once we got going at it. So we took off all of the OSB from the ceiling as well that I thought I would need off to do my framing. I think I'll probably end up taking more off behind me, just because eventually it'll need to be drywalled, but maybe that's a problem for future Dylan. I do want to mention though that we did find quite a bit of, we found some moisture signs or moisture damage, and I do believe that's mostly coming from my bathroom vent. The master bathroom vent is venting to the attic. So next on the list, I suppose, is realistically venting that out probably this often. I'm not sure. Anyway, so once we vent the bathroom fan and then get this room sealed back off, I am assuming that will take care of a lot of our moisture issues. Obviously, got us a temporary banister because those stairs are very hard to walk up and down. We also took off all of the treads on the stairs. We found it was actually easier to use the steep stairs with the treads off. So we took those off. It makes it a lot easier for us to come up and down, particularly now without as much support as you had before. And then finally, in typical fashion for us, our goal is to reuse as much of the lumber as we can. A lot of them are in really great shape, so these will be scrap ends, spacers, things like that. Maybe even full pieces if we can get them out of them, because it's perfectly good wood. I don't see why we couldn't use it, so we use as much as we can.
So it's been a few days, actually more like a week. Dylan's parents, as we said, came down to help us out with everything. So as you've probably seen by now, I have not had to do much work because Dylan's dad has been a huge help in the demolition of everything.
Yes.
So that's really what we have been working on. I say we, like I did much, but
You made a lot of cookies.
Yeah, I made a lot of cookies with his mom. So that was a perk of the job. But so they helped out for a few days, but then Christmas came around, and we had to do traveling to go spend some more time with them, and then other family members as well. So it's been kind of some running around here recently. But the good news is that the few days that Dylan's parents were around, we got all the demolition done that we needed to.